welcome back, everybody, to the Just One More Level podcast. I am your co-host, Christian.
And I am your co-host, John.
And this week we played a little bit of Sonic the Hedgehog on the Sega Genesis.
Yeah, we did.
The big rival, if you will, to Nintendo with the Mario franchise that you may or may not heard of. I know it wasn't a huge thing, but you know, if you were alive like in the 80s, you probably heard of Mario. And Sonic obviously was their answer to that, the big mascot for the Sega Genesis. And well, I guess technically it came out on the Master System as well, but it wasn't really until the Genesis that it took off. But anyways, John, Sega, this is not Sega Genesis, Sonic the Hedgehog. How'd you, you want to tell us a little bit about what Sonic the Hedgehog is before we talk about whether we liked it or not?
Yes, I will. Sonic the Hedgehog is a 2D action platformer, and it has a special emphasis on speed. The big selling point with the Sega Genesis was how fast the processing power was. Genesis does what Nintendo don't, as the old advertising phrase goes.
Just to interject real quick, that's probably the best video game advertising ever. Was just
so much shade.
So much shade. And it reminds me a little bit, Sony, during the whole PlayStation 4, Xbox One thing, it was revealed that Xbox Ones wouldn't actually play games off of disc. So it was impossible to share your games with friends. And obviously they decided to change that because of all the backlash. But at E3, whenever that was announced, Sony made an impromptu little commercial like type of thing where they were like, this is how you share games with your friends on PlayStation 4. And then it just shows like the head of the company handing a video game to another person. And it's like, and that's what Sega does when Nintendo was to me. And it's beautiful. But Sonic though, and Nintendo and all that, continue. I'm sorry.
Okay, so Sonic was their big answer. Nintendo was just slaughtering any kind of competition in the 1980s with video game market. It was insane. It was huge. And of course, their mascot was Mario, the wonderful plumber, the colorful worlds, the fast, responsive platforming action, and Sega wanted a piece of that pie. But they didn't want to be cutesy and all that kind of stuff like Mario was. So even for their cutest type of title at the time, their most colorful venture, they had to make him have some attitude, right? So Sonic moves really fast. He blazes through the levels. All the enemies are robots. It's kind of cool, you know? And he has attitude. He has a frown on his face, and he's got tennis shoes, and he's just blazing through this level, and it was super cool, right?
He's got tennis shoes.
He's got tennis. Mario doesn't have tennis shoes. Mario,
and that's really
boring old man.
That's what Sega was going for sure. Is just trying to be the antithesis, or however you want to say it, to Mario and to Nintendo. And so they made him super fast because the scrolling effects on Nintendo were kind of slow. It could scroll, but it was kind of slow scrolling. Sega, on the other hand, they just had that blast processing that they had, where they could just make the screen zoom across without any sort of trouble. And yes, Mario was kind of your lame plumber boy that just saves ladies and things, but not Sonic. Not Sonic with Sega. Nope. He's the cool guy, man, throwing up peace signs and listening to heavy metal. And I don't know if he ever actually listened to heavy metal, but you know, you get the point.
Sure. Yeah. So, why not? But but here's the thing though. Here's the thing with Sonic.
Yeah.
It's frustrating. It's
not
totally
though.
Frustrating experience for me. And I'll explain why.
Please, because John and I always talk about these games before we get on the podcast and actually, talk to all of you about it. We discuss a little bit, and he mentioned that he didn't find himself really enjoying it. So I've been dying all day. What is wrong with Sonic, John?
Okay, I got you. First of all, I'll give it its benefits. Okay,
Graphics,
bright, colorful, crisp, and well designed for an early 16-bit game. Not sure what's going on with the checkered pattern, but that doesn't really bother me too much.
That's because you're playing on modern displays and with modern hardware and things like that. The old hardware and old displays would have blurred that together to make it look as if it were transparent. That was a transparency hack because everything was so fuzzy back in the day that checkered patterns ended up just becoming transparent. So that's what's up with the checkered stuff. But
Gotcha.
yeah, sorry.
Okay. So anyway, the sound, it's fun and bouncy. That main theme is super catchy. I've always loved the main Sonic theme, you know? It has great energy. It has that great Genesis sound. It's like a loud splat honky type of sound to their games, you know, which is super fun. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, because I mean they use the they use the Yamaha chip for their sound, so
Right.
instead of just using like generic CPU based sound, they have proper like FM sound and whatnot, which was a pretty big thing back in the day, but obviously gave it a very distinct sound that some people really enjoyed and other people not so much. Yeah, me personally, I quite like the sound in a lot of Genesis games, but at the same time, none of them seem to take off in the same way that Nintendo classics did, like your Mario themes and your Zelda themes and things like that.
Right.
Though, so,
Yeah.
you know, whatever. To each their own, I guess.
Story.
It
I don't
doesn't
know.
matter. It doesn't
no
matter.
idea.
There's some
it doesn't really
emeralds
matter.
that this dude stole, and he's trying to like destroy the world or something. And if you want story from Sonic, watch the movie. Like
Dr. Robotnik or Egghead is big villain. He trapped a bunch of rabbits.
I don't know, man. It doesn't matter.
You gotta
Who
push
cares?
this button at the end to get the rabbits out. I don't know. So yeah, the story doesn't really matter. But here's my qualm: the gameplay. Okay. And I looked it up. I looked it up to make sure that I was right, and I was. I was right. The game designer is a big old jerk.
How?
He designed the levels on purpose so that if you are a return player who has mastered the levels, you can speed through them. Because you know all of the alleys. You know that the top path is the way to go, and the bottom path
good game design, yes. I hear.
Purposefully punishes the player.
Yes.
Purposefully punishes the player, even if you didn't mean it. You didn't mean to. So I have this weird disconnect in my mind, right? I'm thinking, okay, this is Sonic. I gotta go fast. I gotta run really fast. I gotta build up my momentum. I gotta roll into a ball, and I gotta dodge all these obstacles while I'm doing it. This is really cool. The game is designed to make this fun and cool, but it's kind of not, though. It's kind of designed to be that if you know what you're doing. But if you don't know what you're doing, you have to slow down and pay attention. And I did not. That was such a weird thing for me in my brain because I was like, no, I gotta go fast. I gotta roll into a ball and go fast, and then you lose your rings, and then before you can even react, you're dead. I lost so many lives. It took me probably 5 tries and probably 4 times fighting Robotnik before I could even make it out of the first world. In my entire hour of playing it, I made it to level 2 of the second world. That's the farthest that I made it. Because
I'm really blown away, to be honest.
It was such a disconnect in my brain. I couldn't reconcile the two things. Like I couldn't reconcile the platforming aspect.
I got a game over, and 8 minutes in, I'm already on the second level. Second world. It was just not. I
don't know if it's just because I'm too used to like Mario, that style of platforming. It's just fast and responsive, and you can control where you're going midair.
To be clear, though, so is Sonic. Sonic's also very fast and responsive control-wise.
I don't
think you have the same level. I don't think it's quite as nice in the air control department, but Sonic controls very well, in my opinion. I have no qualms at all with that. I think it feels really good.
He's a slippery.
He has a
guy.
tiny bit of slide to him, but it's not like you're playing an ice level or anything like that.
No,
just
not like that.
Barely, and it's the sort of thing I feel you can get used to quite quickly as well. I have qualms with the game, of course, but none of them have to do with what you're saying.
Right. So here's another thing I noticed about him, especially in the hill zone. Before you get to this marble zone that you're in right now, if you guys are watching the video. There's hills, obviously. Okay, but they're not block hills; they're actual hills with like
which
a
is
gradual
awesome
slope.
at the time, in my opinion. Right. You hardly seen slopes in a Mario game until like Mario World. So
right.
That was just another cool example of Sega doing what Nintendo.
Right, but Sonic does not walk up the hill with his feet and then like adjust his torso so that he remains straight up and down. Sonic walks up the hill at an angle. So Sonic's feet are stuck to that angle regardless of how you're facing. There's a pit on the first level, I believe. It might be the second level, where you kind of fall down into this pit and there's a pendulum swinging back and forth. And you either go so fast that you scoot right up and out of the pit, or you're supposed to catch the pendulum and get out of there. I probably spent about 15 minutes of my life stuck at that pit because I couldn't time the pendulum just right. And when you jump as Sonic, if you're on a slope and you as the character are angled, you jump at that angle. You don't jump straight up and down.
Which I feel like was very much a limit of the hardware at the time, to be honest. But
it could have been.
I don't know. I found it so easy to compensate for that sort of thing, though. Like, you just go backwards and gain up a little bit more speed, or like you said, grab the pendulum to get up.
If you don't have if you don't have momentum, that's what I like about. I think it's Sonic 2. You got the ball move.
You got the spin dash. Yeah.
You can spin into a ball and you have speed right away. I feel like that might have been a reaction to
that was a huge improvement for sure.
But I was trying to walk up the hill and I moved so slow and I just wanted to get up the hill so I could jump on the pendulum. But when I got up there, I would miss the pendulum just barely, and then I'd have to slowly walk up the hill again, and I couldn't even jump to make my walk faster because I kept jumping backwards.
See, what you do though, you go backwards, like you go up the hill a little bit, then you go backwards, and then you turn around and go back again, and you just keep doing that to build momentum.
Yeah,
because momentum is a huge thing with Sonic. Yeah, that's a huge thing with Sonic is momentum. So yeah, going uphill you lose a lot of momentum, but going downhill you gain momentum very quickly. So you just walk up the hill a little bit, and then you roll down the other way, and then you just go back and forth to gain up your momentum. Well, yeah, I mean, me personally, I didn't have any of those problems. There were some level design problems, in my opinion, but that mostly has to do with them breaking what Sonic is. If you're watching the video, you can see there's a lot in the second world, Marble Zone or whatever they call it, of like lava rides and things like that, and they're so slow, which to me just isn't Sonic, like, at all. Like John mentioned early on, Sonic's meant to be fast, and yeah, there's obstacles and things, because if there wasn't, then what's the gameplay challenge? What's the point? But I hate the whole being forced into moving slow sort of thing, and just like these pseudo auto-scrolly sort of sections in Sonic. That's what bugs me about it. But the first world in Sonic, I feel, is excellent, like perfect. I have no real complaints. Besides, I mean, there are some kind of cheap spike pits or whatever, but honestly, in my experience at least, I was able to learn where those were and adjust to them very quickly, and so they didn't become much of a problem. And then just from experience, I do know that in general, at least, this may not be true for every Sonic level, but in general, top path is always best path in Sonic, as far as I know. My only other real qualm that you didn't cover was sometimes dying from being pinched in this game is a thing. So like if you get crushed by something, you'll die. And there were some cheap deaths where the game thinks you're being pinched, but you probably weren't, and that is a problem with this game that I know from watching like speed runs and things. Yeah, it actually happened right after I talked about it there. Although that time the pit or the spike trap was coming down, so I probably deserved it that time. But anyways, point is that's another real problem with the game that I believe they worked on a little bit in Sonic 2 and 3. But that's pretty much it for me though. Like
that's the thing. Like
underwater.
I remember
underwater sucks too. I want to throw that out there. Underwater mechanics in Sonic are way worse than Mario, and that's saying something considering everybody hates water levels in Mario too. So yeah, sorry, but that's all I had for qualms. Like that's it. I really like Sonic. I like it as much as Mario, no, but it's a lot of fun.
Right. And see, that's the thing. I completely concede that I am 100% biased. I am. Because I love Mario and I play Mario so much. Like I had a lot of issues with the first Mario game when I first played it too, and there were times that I would die on the first world. Like it was the same kind of story for me with Mario until I played it over and over. I learned where everything was. I got used to it. I felt that reward from getting better at the game and all that kind of stuff. So it's mostly a bias. But I just felt like there were a couple of things that were cheap, and there were definitely a couple of things that I would have liked to have done differently. And from what I remember having a lot more fun with Sonic 2 when I was a
Sonic 2
kid.
for sure is better.
That's the one I had.
Yeah.
I had Sonic and Tails. I didn't have this one as a kid. I have it now on my little mini Genesis. Got myself a mini Genesis. It's got all the Genesis Sonic games,
and much
which is
more.
pretty cool. Yeah, it's got like six Sonic games. So I guess Genesis, CD, and 32X Sonic games is what it has. So that was pretty cool. And I have an original Genesis controller, so I had that going for me. There's really only 2 moves in Sonic, though. There's no run button. There's just a jump button and a movement. So
at least in Sonic 1, again, that changes later in the series, but
yeah. So you could actually play the first Sonic game on an Atari Atari joystick. You just need the jump button and the movement stick.
Interestingly enough, I forget what computer,
the Genesis controller plugs into the Atari. I thought that's what you were gonna say.
Possibly, it is something along those lines. It might be the Atari, but I forget. There is another game console that you can plug a Genesis controller into, and I believe vice versa as well. But I can't remember what console it is. So, but yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. I really enjoyed Sonic. I'm kind of sad to hear that you didn't enjoy it very much. I hope you'll spend a little bit more time with it, because I think you will end up liking it more than you have, because at least classic Sonic games are very good. I mean, there's a reason why they still make Sonic games to this day, even though so many of them have ended up poorly and been reviewed very poorly and just whatnot, because Sonic is a huge thing. Around this time, if you're watching the video, you'll see a actual bad pinch where for sure I shouldn't have died, but whatever. Anyways, and then they did the whole Mario thing by going into like 3D games and whatnot, and those have almost been universally panned as just being bad by critics, at least. But I know growing up, I had some fun with them, and I can see some people in chat had fun with them. So, but yeah. So I hope you'll at least give it a little bit more of a try. We'll probably end up covering Sonic 2 at least at some point, because I think that is universally considered to be the better Sonic game, and it's the one I have the most memories with growing up as well.
But I'm gonna say I would play Sonic 2. No doubt in my mind.
No more Sonic.
I don't know. No more Sonic 1. I would not play just one more level of Sonic 1. I'm gonna say that. I know I'm gonna get tarred and feathered. I'm gonna get the pitchforks are coming after me.
What was the terrible game? There was Earthworm Jim, which isn't really a terrible game. I just have a personal vendetta, I guess, against it. But there was a bad game. This is with
me. Yeah, SpongeBob.
Yeah, SpongeBob.
SpongeBob.
Man.
We both agreed.
Well, no.
Play just one more level.
No, because I'm definitely saying I would play just one more level. I feel like there was another bad game though where you said you would play just one more level.
I said I would. I know Earthworm Jim was one.
Yeah, but I mean, most people probably wouldn't consider that a bad game. I just didn't like it. Yeah, well, my lord, those were.
I said I would play,
fun.
Even though we finished all of them.
Yeah. But I don't remember.
No, we didn't finish the Wisdom Tree game.
No, we didn't finish the Wisdom Tree game or the Castlevania knockoff game.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Either, but
that's right.
Anyways, yeah, I definitely would play just one more level. I probably will. In my hour that I was playing the game, I got through the first 4 worlds and just loaded into the 5th,
goodness.
If I remember correctly.
How many more are there?
I think there's 8 if I remember correctly, but I'm not 100% positive. But I've never beaten Sonic 1, 2, or 3 for that matter.
Okay.
So I think I want to beat the game is what I was getting to. I probably not right away, but here soon. I think I'm going to sit down for a couple hours and actually beat the game for the first time. So
there you go. Okay.
That's good.
That's fair. And that's totally fair too. Like I'm not like how could you like Sonic? Like I'm not a crazy person. Like I get it. It is appealing. It is a well-designed platformer. It has a lot of good things going for it. And I feel like, I don't know, maybe if I was just maybe if I had more time with it, or I don't know. I just don't. Maybe if I wasn't so biased towards Mario, that's my love. That's my passion. I helped make
Yeah,
that game. I don't.
just to be clear, yes, I still
Yeah.
think Mario is the better game.
Right.
I think Sonic is also a very good game, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the weird thing about my brain, man. I would agree with you. I think that this is this is what you would call a good quality game. But
Yeah.
it's kind of how like I feel about Star Wars, right? So everybody agrees that is a fan of Star Wars, generally speaking, of the original trilogy, that The Empire Strikes Back, the second Star Wars movie, is a better quality film. It is the better film, and it's most people's favorite. But my personal favorite is A New Hope. It's the original. That's just my personal favorite. It has more memorable moments for me. It has just like a different kind of tone that I enjoy from a movie. But I totally agree with all of those people. Empire Strikes Back is the better movie. It is a better quality movie. It has more things going for it than the original, but it's not my favorite. So I will 100% agree with everything that you said about Sonic. It is a good game. It's really well done, and I totally understand why people are a fan of this game. Me personally, nah, I wouldn't play just one more level.
I mean, you're entitled to your opinion, and
Even if it's wrong.
I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I obviously I disagree, but
Just blew your mind.
I don't know. It is just crazy to me because like this and Ukulele was another one which I can understand that's not necessarily everybody's game, but just the fact that you chose these games to be like, nah, I'm good on those ones. That's
It's just strange. Yeah.
crazy to me. Yeah, but
It is
all
a
right.
little weird.
Look, if you want to see
promise
a
not to.
objectively bad game,
Yeah.
stick around for a little bit if you're in the stream, or tune in a couple weeks because we have a pretty bad game for you on the docket here. So stay tuned for that. But I think that's all I have to say, to be honest, John.
Okay.
Music great, graphics good, gameplay fun. Sonic, go. To wrap it up.
Yeah.
Anything else from you though?
No. I mean, that's pretty much it for me. I'm sorry if I ruined anybody's childhood or if I gained any haters.
Right.
When
Let
I-
us know down in the comments
goodness.
how wrong John is, and
Yeah, let me know.
Or if you disagree with me somehow, then by all means let us know that as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it for this week,
I'm fine
guys.
with
We
that.
will be back with, well, actually, after this episode goes live, I'm pretty sure our first short will be going live. Or sorry, mini. We decided to call them minis.
Is
We're
this
still
going to be our
transitioning
first
into that.
one or our second one? Is our first one going live?
You're right. You're right. You know what? The
Yeah.
first one actually should already be live. Friday, or wait, no, I'm sorry, Friday, June
At the
4th.
time-
Yeah. At the time that this video goes up, the first one will already be live. So we hope you guys enjoy the minis. We're still kind of figuring out that format, so let us know what you'd like to see, if you would like them to be a little bit shorter, or just whatever, we're just trying to figure out exactly what we want to do with that one. And of course, if there's ever a mini that you want to see us do more of, let us know that as well. But just minis, check them out, let us know.
Yeah. All right. But in the meantime, where can we find us?
Yeah. So the down below, wherever you're at, description, check it out. There's links to everything: websites, Facebooks, Twitters, all the good
All the
stuff. So
socials.
yep. So just check us out down there.
But in the meantime, thank you everybody so much for watching and listening. Depending on where you're coming from, you don't have to, but you do, and we appreciate it. So until next time.
Thank you, everybody. Bye bye.
Bye bye.